Everyone, everywhere, is at risk of contracting periodontal disease and interproximal cavities sometime in their lifetime. While flossing is a simple, cost-effective technique to greatly reduce that risk of getting those interproximal cavities and periodontal disease, most Americans do not utilize this widely available preventative measure. So for your own sakes, I hope that today you'll all commit to flossing your teeth daily. I'll share with you why this is essential, why this is an essential oral health element and is so often overlooked, the dangers and eventual costs of not flossing, and the great benefits of firmly establishing a flossing habit in your life. As a dental assistant and a dental school applicant, I've shadowed dentists for hundreds of hours in several specialties of endodontics, periodontics, oral surgery, and even orthodontics. But why does this really matter? Most Americans don't floss their teeth, so what? Well, as life expectancy in the United States increases, we're going to need our health. We're going to need our teeth for longer than ever. In a study done in 2008 by Dr. Corby and Briesbach and Bartzik, they found that most people that don't floss regularly shown a statistical increase of that individual's risk of interproximal cavities. That's when you have a cavity right between two teeth right there. They also showed a statistic increase of root canal infections, when bacteria can get all the way to the root of the tooth and start to damage the nerves there, and periodontal disease, where inflammation of the gums, where bacteria has started to grow there, can cause gum recession, bleeding, pain, and inflammation. So periodontal disease then can also lead to bone loss and eventually necessitate the extraction of a tooth. We'll talk more about that later. So how can we avoid those risks of periodontal disease, root canal infections, and interproximal cavities? To start flossing after a lifetime without the habit, it can be difficult. One might begin this process by sharing this goal with a friend who can be an action partner and follow up daily. You might set an alarm on your phone to remind yourself every day at a specific time that you're going to floss. Something that I've found helpful is writing out my goals and sticking it on a bathroom mirror so that I see those goals every day and I'm thinking about them. Now, many solutions can be had in building a habit and establishing it. Something that I have found most effective personally is something called habit stacking. I actually learned about here at BYU, Idaho through the Wellness Center. So habit stacking is when you take a habit that you want to establish and stack it on top of a habit you already have established. So let's say if I have a daily habit of gargling with mouthwash, I can commit to flossing just after or before I gargle with mouthwash. That way I stack that new habit on top of an old one I already have, so I won't forget. Another example might be if I have a daily habit of taking a nap after lunch, I can commit to flossing my teeth right before I take my nap. I can put my flosser near my pillow so that every time before I lay down for my nap, I can floss my teeth. This really helped me when I first wanted to start flossing. I simply put my flosser, I use those little picks, those are the most convenient for me, and put that right on top of my toothbrush right there so that I would remember to floss my teeth right after I flossed or right before I flossed each day. Now, most people decry flossing because their gums are so uncomfortable and they bleed the first time they floss. Now, in a study done by Drs. McGuire, Sumkara, and Sullivan in 2022, they found that this bleeding discomfort is caused by a lack of flossing. Food gets under those gums and causes inflammation when bacteria gets in there and multiply. After establishing a daily habit of flossing, these doctors found that your gums won't be so puffy anymore and will actually be more pink and firm than red and inflamed. Now, what does this look like? If we start flossing, what would this look like? And if we don't establish this habit, what problems might we face? So let's say that you don't floss for a week after eating some popcorn. You can get that little popcorn kernel right in there between the ginja and the teeth, and that popcorn kernel is made out of a beta-glucose polymer called cellulose, and bacteria can get in there, and using their enzymes they can break apart that cellulose, start to metabolize that glucose, and the bacteria will multiply with this gigantic food source, and then that will begin an infection. And if it's really deep down in there, sometimes when we're chewing, those little popcorn kernels can get really far between the teeth and down the side of the tooth in the gums, then that proliferating or multiplying bacteria will swell, and that will cause inflammation. Now, that inflammation, if that creates too much pressure, the bone will actually start to be destroyed by your own osteoclasts that are trying to reduce the pressure. And then you'll have bone loss, and that will break down the periodontal ligaments between the bone and the tooth will become loose and ineffective in chewing and will need to be taken out. So that's like worst case scenario if you're not flossing. But let's say you do flossing. Let's imagine that we've habit stacked, we've put whatever alarm on our phone and done whatever we needed to do to establish this habit of flossing. And we're flossing every day, you'll be able to enjoy those steak dinners well into your 70s. So if you want to enjoy those teeth well into your old age, you've got to make this commitment to start flossing every day. In a study done by Doctors Banting and Loesch, they found that daily flossing has been clinically shown to reduce the incidence of those painful oral problems. Commit to making a change today. If you don't floss daily, link it to another daily habit. If that doesn't help you form the habit, do whatever it takes to save your teeth.